coming from one of the best indie game developers in the industry. This is also the same folk who previously made Epistory, Rotoforce, and I'm pretty sure most of you know Gravity Circuit. Anyway, we've got here the company's, after some time, 3D open world adventure, or rather walking sim game, going by the name Whisper. And by that, it means someone who's into wisps. So basically you're a wisp seeker. By the way, your character is also a wisp, this smurf looking little fella. Anyway, this game is said to be coming to PC sometime next year. Revolution Software came out with the word that they have a Broken Sword Shadow of the Templars reforged on the way for the fans of the series, offering basically a remastered version of the 1996 point-and-click adventure original game Broken Sword with just redrawn backgrounds, 4K resolution, some redone animations. Anyway, this game is coming to PCs, Switch, and all other platforms as well early next year.
As I picked myself up, all I could hear was the ceaseless drone of traffic. The leading article referred to the visit of a Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state. It smelled like someone had dumped a truckload of fish in a locker room on a hot summer afternoon.
Oh, my head. Never again. How much vodka did I drink? No, don't tell me.
Oh yeah, I wanted to include this one in my last video, but obviously couldn't. As the first work of its developers over here, at number 3, we've got here something called Greenfield. See, Greenfield is a story-driven puzzle platforming adventure, halfway inspired by the recently released Somerville, in which your adventure is about exploring this forgotten island facility and acquire abilities from its lost technologies to unlock a path to its center, so that you can eventually unravel the story. Here's the trailer. Now look guys, built with the use of Unreal Engine 5 this time around. At number 4, we've got Spirit of the North 2. This is the sequel to the interactive adventure game, which follows the same exact formula as the first game, with new graphical changes at bigger scale. You get to go through Icelandic landscape this time and live an even deeper story on a more emotional journey. I mean, that's what they promise. Check it out, the sequel is coming to PCs and the next generation of consoles only sometime next year. Number 5, we've got here once again The Inquisitor, which was previously titled I the Inquisitor, now a bit shortened. We came to understand at first to be a Souls-like, or rather story-driven action-adventure based on a series of books about an alternative history, by the way this is real, the books, where Christ responds to his crucifixion and that with rage rather than, you know, forgiveness. It's that kind of a game. Anyway, this, I would say, masterpiece of a project is coming around February 8 now, 2024, into PCs and the next generation of consoles only. We just got a new trailer for it too.
What's going on, Cliff? You look frightened. Everything seems strange now, doesn't it?
Sitting on Steam through a demo. At number 6 we have here a retro-style horror, a rather choose-your-own-adventure type of game here, as its developer's first job too. Weirdly touted as a kitchen management game with dialogue choices and some multiple endings, which by the way happens to be true. Because you see, you play as this dude in a van and share some stuff, stories and food with your client, the last people that are living on Earth until the end of the world arrives. Anyway, this game is coming to PCs only sometime next year.
You're doing a great job. You're helping. Don't be afraid. As long as you stay here, I'll be by your side.
From the Yorkshire moors to Berlin, Paris, and now the tiny village of Montségur, high up in the mountains of the Pyrenees.
Revolution Software not only announced Shadow of the Templars, then even came out with the word that they are indeed making another Broken Sword. Alongside that, going by the name, some of you might know this, Parzival's Stone. This time around, you play as George and Nico as they find themselves involved in a rather terrifying conspiracy involving treasure hunters and quantum physics. Which is, you know, this game is coming on all consoles and Switch included sometime next year.
Drink and you can bring me up to speed.
I do believe it's your round.
Sure, un vin blanc, coming up. And if you see a clown,
Supermassive Games, with the same developers of the Dark Picture games, anthologies, went on and took over the rights to Little Nightmare. It's a great thing, but they took it from Bandai. Now, I've said it before, this entry is apparently a co-op multiplayer and is coming to PC Switch with a new story arc sometime next year. This is how it looks. I could be skeptical, but I don't know, for some reason I suspect this will not hold up to a lot of expectations. But at least, they're giving it the best shot. Moving on to number 9, we have Scarlet Deer Inn. Touted by its folks as an embroidered narrative platformer with an emotional story, an interesting cast of characters, a dark dungeon full of monsters, and a world inspired by the Slavic folklore. That's quite the introduction. Anyway, this good-looking fella over here is on his way to PC, Switch, and Xbox One only, mid to late 2024. In case you're wondering, all characters over here are actually embroidered. Moving on, we have Noreen, The Orange Room. This is a third-person survival horror game in which you play this young little girl called Noreen with sixth sense, whose sisters mysteriously disappeared for whatever reason, and now she's using her ability to find her, picking what's left as clues to pick up where she's whatever. This game is coming to PCs early next year. Coming up behind that, we've got Bye Sweet Carol. This is a platform adventure horror from the same writer of the Remodeled game series, about a little girl in a book-like adventure, kind of inspired by the cartoons, and a world that's infested by rabbits. Here's the trailer. This game is coming to PCs in both generation of consoles as well, early to mid next year. Number 12, we've got a stylized, cel-shaded, technically biking game here called Ghost Bike. Also the work of Annapurna. It's coming to PCs, both generation of consoles, excluding Switch, early to mid next year. This game is described as a semi-open world adventure racing game where you play the role of a kid on a mission to revive the last of the ghost bikes as people who rode between the world of the living and the dead. So once again, Annapurna is doing it.
My own direction, endlessly navigating my streets. Give it a go.
Lots of people lost things in the blackout. I was lucky. I just lost a job.
During Annapurna Interactive Showcase, kind of a couple months ago, we got word that these folks are making a Blade Runner game too, entitled Blade Runner 2033 Labyrinth. Nothing really much, just a cinematic, maybe hints of gameplay here and there. All we know is that the game is coming to PCs in both generation of consoles early next year. It takes place in a dystopian LA after the blackout between the original Blade Runner and the sequel 2049. Take a look.
Picking through the pieces. Being someone else. In places that no longer exist. That's where you'll find me. Searching. In the land of the dead.
He saw something he wasn't meant to see.
You've got to break the cycle! I can't!
Moving on, we have The Drifter. Sitting on Steam through a demo, this game is described as a pulp adventure thriller, a murder mystery, point-and-click adventure, of course a puzzle adventure, coming from the same team who also previously made the other game, Crawl and Peridium. There's a trailer. This game is coming to PCs and Switch only. We hear by the end of the year.
And something came back with him. The Drifter. A pulp adventure thriller. Wishlist.
Oh, moving on to number 15, third work of its developers, I think. This thing over here is an action RPG open world adventure going by the name Tale of a Wolf. Now, I don't know about you, but I already love this game because it reminds me of Japanese myth. And what could go wrong really here? You're an alpha wolf and have magic powers, saving nature, fighting rock golems, and God knows what else. This game is coming to PCs only sometime next year. And last but not least, from the publishers of the both Twin Sins: A Little Big Adventure and Twin Sins: Little Big Adventure 2, we've got here the remastered versions of those two games coming to PCs and Switch only early next year. If you're new here, this is a series of classic action-adventure games released more than 30 years ago, which was one of the first of its own kind that blended platforming, puzzling, and exploration. Both these games are being made with the use of Unreal Engine 5 now.